This is Change Pivot Table Values Outputs. I'm working in the Data Audit Worksheet, and this is the Data Analytics Project 6 workbook. We've added a pivot table to this worksheet. We're auditing the stores from our data set, and I now would like to see the count of transactions, or how many transactions occurred for each one of these stores. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag the transaction number field, and I'm going to drag it to the values area of the pivot table. And we can see now we have the transaction number added to the pivot table, but Excel has summed these transactions, which the values in this field can't be summed. It's just an identification number for each transaction that occurred within this company's system. So I'm going to change that, and there's two ways for me to do that. I can click on the field name in the pivot table. I'm in the Analyze tab of the ribbon, and I can click the Field Settings button. That will open the Value Field Settings dialog box, or you can just double-click the field name, and that will also open the Value Field Settings dialog box. In the middle of the dialog box, you can see a couple of different options. I'm going to click the Count option. This will change the output of this field to counting the values per store instead of summing the values per store. You have other options. You can take the average of the values, min, max, and you can scroll down and see a lot of different options for changing the output when a field is dragged into the value section of a pivot table. The other thing we can do is change the field name. I'm going to click up in the custom name input box. I'm going to backspace out of or remove the name that's in there. I'm going to call this field transaction count. So this field name is a little bit shorter. It won't require the columns to be so wide. I'm going to click OK. And now we can see the new field name, transaction count, and the count of transactions for each one of our stores. One thing to notice, every store has the same number of transactions, 945. So this is training data as we learn how to use Excel and data analytics projects. But if this were a real project and this was the transaction counts you would see for a real company, this would be a red flag. We would want to find out why this is occurring, because this is not something that would be normal for a retailer to have exactly the same transactions per store. And that is how you change the pivot table value outputs using a pivot table.